I think I cooled off a little from the Epstein stuff from last week. This next upcoming week is going to be a little heavy on it, but yeah, I'm so sorry this is so late. I'm still alive, and yeah, just getting through it. What? Oh, yeah. I thought we'd get a cool backstory. Instead, we get the teacher student flirting. And I didn't like it. The song was alright. It's annoying because at times this show has nice vibes and it just feels like a chill slice of life. And then it's got... I don't even know where it's going with it. Like, it doesn't necessarily feel like it will... I don't know. It doesn't necessarily feel like it will be romantic, but it easily could... Oh, sorry, I'm cold. It's really making me... Watching all of these shows that I don't quite like in a row, because I was putting off watching them, is really making me consider starting to do elimination rounds at the end of each week or something, because, this is rough. I thought this episode made me physically sick for a second, but then I remembered I just have been awake way too long. They were going to go out and explore a forest, but they got caught, so darn. Man, I wasn't even sure if I had watched this episode, but I totally did. Just none of it really stuck with me. They accidentally sleep in the same bed together, or she sleepwalks and gets into his bed. There's another guy who is pretty sure she's a girl. This girl who wants to get with long jumper guy. I don't know. I don't. Ever since like the kiss, I just fallen off hard from this episode or from this show. And this is the last thing I have to do for the week 6. Yeah, I don't know. What shows are you enjoying this season? I see the formula for this show. So while I enjoyed the first episode, it feels like a kind of a repeat in the second episode, and it just feels like that might be the theme going forward. Just fine. This is a kid's show. The mysteries are a little. I think I was only questioning it the first time because it's just like it's obvious, right? Yeah, and it's definitely, this feels like maybe you could watch this instead of Dora with your kids or something. But it's well animated and the characters aren't annoying, so I'll give it that. But I might I might be skipping the transformation scene if they do that every time. It was fun the first time, but I knew as soon as I saw it, I was like, they're gonna do that every time, aren't they? Yeah, it's long. It's well animated, but it's long. I mean, this episode was fine. It went down, I guess, in terms of interest for me from last week. I guess the sad ghost fight was a little anticlimactic, in my opinion. He just does it like he was aura farming pretty hard at the end of the last episode, and then, yeah, just whatever. Gonna be training more to beat up these ghosts. So I guess this is really just homies working to torture. It's still pretty boring. I guess, I don't know. Maybe the girlfriend thing was funny a little bit. I don't get this show. So I might be too dumb for the card game and for just the story that's happening, because I do not understand the sister from the future. I do not understand how they always get something in the 3 checks and always get a critical trigger when they need. And I don't understand. I mean, I guess there's... If I can like catch on, I'll enjoy it. But there's a lot. The card game, I realize, is way more. You probably need to know way more about the actual card game to really get what's going on. Some of the moments are flashy, I guess. I want to say it's like 60% eye roll on this one. 30% fine, 10%, maybe 20%. I don't know. 20%, I was thinking about Epstein. Sorry. I got it. Whatever. But yeah, I guess there's progress made in this episode, which feels nice, but also I don't trust it. I feel like it'll be undone next episode, so maybe I'll be surprised. I will say, just a little anecdote, when he pulled the bed aside and I just felt like he was fumbling. Just remembered a time where I went to the movies with a girl I liked. This was like back in middle school. When we sat down, I put a seat in between us, and then like we just like put our stuff there. And I still just like, when I think about that, I'm like, oh yeah, that time. Well, I'm starting all my things with well. I guess this was a mid episode. It wasn't. I kind of maybe it was fun-ish. The competitions were whatever. I think the funniest were the first two, the girls playing volleyball, and I guess the swimming guy was kind of funny. And the backstory for the girl was interesting enough. We know her powers is to control dolls. So, yeah. I really want to like this show for how weird it is, but it's just so overwhelming, and I just find most of the characters annoying at this point. And it's like, it's so outlandish that it's almost like none of the outlandishness really feels that crazy to me anymore. But yeah, I guess there's aliens. Oh my god, freaking, did y'all see Trump? I mean, maybe it's, I just saw that Trump was talking about releasing alien news or information. And it's like, of course, this is the time you're gonna... Like, I do not care. Maybe if they're in the Epstein files, too, I would give a shit. But what are we doing? And speaking of overwhelmed, I just read something that was saying that the way all of this information is being released is kind of a tactical strategy to overwhelm all of us who are just reading this. In court, when you're dealing with information as depraved as this, you provide a lot of information to make this horrible information make sense. You prepare the jury. You don't just give everything and then just go figure it out. This is supposed to make us feel overwhelmed to the point where we just can't even look at it anymore. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm feeling that. I'm still trying to, because I saw that and it's like, oh, of course. So now I'm really trying to make sure I keep up and see everything. But now it just feels like there's starting to be a lot of, even where I was getting my information, it's like now most of the time whenever I check the comments, it feels like people are easily able to be like, this is a fake thing. It's like, I don't know why we're like, there's so many awful things. Why are we making things up? And it's just create more chaos and confusion and ultimately apathy, I guess, and just disregard everything. So I'm struggling a little bit just because I have still a bunch of anime to watch, and it's all the stuff that I don't really care about at this point. I'm gonna watch it, gonna get through this week. I really want to get through this season because it just seems dumb to go halfway and not have everything. But and part of me also feels like this is maybe even more like I really don't know what I can do. Part of me thinks I should go to DC and just stand outside the DOJ with a sign saying, "Where is everybody? Where is our outrage? What is going on? Stop the Epstein class." I don't know. This will be the only time I'll ask for a comment, because I don't really know what I'm gonna do with anybody's comment, actually. So don't feel like you have to leave it. If you really feel like you want to tell me something, please do. But I guess would you rather see me finish out this season of anime and just keep kind of reviewing, anime and Epstein and all the fucked up shit that's happening in America as it's happening? Or would you feel better if you knew I'm trying to use my time physically to just be present? Because I do also feel like being present will help others be present. So, I don't know. That's all I got. I may be moving back to Team Edward, but I think I'm still Team Jacob for now. I'll hold my guns. I'm terrible at phrases. Oh yeah. So I have a guess that, he said they're all like him and that they're all unique and they have different powers, but I'm guessing that they're all like different half-breeds of some sort. That's why they have all the different powers and whatnot. At first I thought she was gonna be like a witch too, but maybe she'll be like I don't know, part ogre. We get like the sad childhood backstories, and I guess her friend got bit by a vampire, and then they stabbed his body with a stake just to make sure he wouldn't come back. But I'm guessing he came back, and he might be a full vampire, which in case he's the most dangerous. Okay, so we find out that Kanata's dad is dead, and I guess he died during the race, which is around the time his elbow started feeling better. So I guess that was sweet. I don't know. It's just these non-racing episodes. It just always seems like there's a lot of uncomfortable. Like we get the one dude just so happy about hanging out with nubile high school girls at the beach, and then we get the 17-year-old lover. It's getting harder to ignore. I had a filter for it, and it's waning. I don't like this episode. Maybe it's just because it brought back. Yeah. She could have stayed above water. Quit hiding. The episode honestly was fine. I guess I don't love the idea of we just got our main character constantly stressing if their partner is going to get taken. And, I don't know. Whatever. Third Prince has entered the chat. And, it's too bad, because I just thought original Prince combo was getting wholesome. And, I don't know. They seemed like, they were... they are. They are slowly getting somewhere. Yeah, I wonder if there's going to be a fourth prince. Man, I was still annoyed at the dude from last week for turning down the best character. And then and then we get a little backstory of how he ate his dog, and I'm just like this show just does not want you to like this guy. But I will admit that gave me probably the first genuine laugh out of this show. Just probably out of shock. Yeah, poor dog. The rest of the show is whatever. It's fine. It's just like, as soon as I start getting into it, then they like throw in a line or, just hint that she really wants to be his wife. And I'm not even hints. She just says it. This is the second time that the show almost fell. That the episode has ended with Glasses Guy seeming like he's in a cooler and more interesting story than what we just watched with Firehead Brave and whatever young pupil he's teaching this time. I guess they fight a panda. That's something. Okay, we're getting... This feels kind of like a setup to really hype up Inori for next episode. We have one more competitor who we kind of get more of their full story, and they got 80 freaking points. I don't really know. I guess that's number one right now. Next highest was like 70 or something. This one, I wasn't super rooting for this competitor. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just because she's the only competition for our main girl. But there is one more person that goes after our girl. I kind of feel like it won't be super important, but maybe it'll be somebody to come in and... I feel like she'll get first. I feel like she'll get gold. I'm not sure how, but... grade of execution, I guess. I was gonna say it's nice to kind of have everything be going well and people of level-headed making decisions when they're in power and can try to do things for the better of people. But then there's something a little ominous about the end for some reason. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the black screen credits. That's not normal, is it? Yeah, I guess Gilbert's gonna be an issue. It's Gilbert, right? Something's coming. I wonder if the Emperor's in trouble. I think I was more into this little adventure, and they're kind of growing on me more as like a cute potential couple. I guess I'm not fully confirmed if this is gay, and I'm not trying to say that negatively. I haven't seen too many really any gay shows other than Bean Counter. And that's this season as well, and part-time torture, I think. But yeah, I just they feel like they have a different vibe than different it's just the relationships are I'm getting used to how they are, and I also do think these shows are a little bit boring regardless of if they're gay or not. Bean Counter is kind of interesting. This one's getting more interesting, though. We get, I guess, like a little dungeon adventure. I guess we learn about the other realm, realizing that Lizzle is gone. I guess their brother is going to come after them and try to get them back. I'm not fully confirmed who that is yet. Well, we get a cool little, fight. The Python ability is kind of interesting. I don't know if they used it the most interestingly, but the idea's there. And I just I just noticed that on the end credits that if you pay attention to who's showing up so far, that is the same order of people that have, I believe, used our boy as a just they sat on him. I don't know if that's better than what I was going to say. But if that's the case, we got a nice lineup going forward. I mean, it's mostly been a nice lineup. And what was I going to say? Oh, she's definitely going to end up wearing that dog collar, right? Like, that's where, yep. Well, it wasn't a kidnapping, but thankfully we have a main character who doesn't mind getting her hands a little dirty. Yeah, I'm not gonna get into it. This episode was okay. I like that her old group, for the most part, actually is chill and likes her, and it makes me question more how the dude was able to sell her into slavery. Like, she was a whole Heroes member that people recognized. Yeah, I don't know. Sadly, I don't question awful things as much as I used to in terms of how they happen. Yeah, I don't know. Demons still seem chill. I guess I wish they would have elaborated a little more about how destroying towns is supposed to let humans know that they don't want war, but I'm sure it'll come up. I feel like this continues to just be a pretty chill show with an interesting new power. I haven't really seen much before. Summoner. I said sorcerer last time, I think. Rank went up to E rank. That hallucination was weird. Just because I was like, why? I thought that was cool. And then, no, okay. But maybe they're not that strong. I did think that. I was like, E rank seems pretty strong because I thought the boar was C or D. I think C. Yeah, maybe that was a little overzealous. I don't know. I enjoy these shows that are in a game, but the game's well thought out. Check it out. I mean, you don't have to, but it's not bad. Well, the fight was good. I feel like I just realized that the dragon is on the cover art, and I was thinking maybe this dragon will be a bigger deal. I'm kind of fine with it not being, with it just being a one episode fight. Although maybe it's not over. Either way, yeah, this is probably the main episode that I feel like you would watch this kind of show for. Get to see the hero be OP after somewhat believing in themselves. Their party didn't, blah, 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 taking down the dragon. But I do want to give this show credit because it's got pretty good CGI. I mean, the monsters are all CGI and kind of obviously CGI, but it still looks good and it's got pretty good animation. But they also, like, the characters, and I remember this was in another episode with, like, the spider and one of the girls, but, like, I'm pretty sure they use a CGI model for some of the action scenes, and it genuinely takes me a little bit to, like, recognize that that's going on, because they use it pretty well, and they intersperse CGI and hand-drawn animation pretty well, so that it all kind of ends up feeling unified. I guess maybe the dragon's not over because I feel like the hero team is gonna have to come in and this all up somehow. I feel like this episode made me like Green Guy more, and so I feel kind of bad about how low I think I ranked last week. Maybe just this show in general, I'm not super into, but this was actually a better episode. I felt the training fight was more interesting, and the character growth, I guess, and hardcore training simulation to use your memories to create enemies of the victims that you killed. Yeah, green guy did that for red guy before he died. Real bro. Man, I was so ready to just say like, oh, this is an all around adorable episode. And then Perica shows up in the final credits. And she's not even a chef. I mean, this was a good episode. I don't know what I think about their relationship. It helps that the main character's older. It helps that Aresh, I think it's Aresh. It helps that he knows so much, like he understands the main character, like very well, to the point where they can make points and argue with them, and the main character can't refute them because they're right. But is he into it? He's not. I don't know. I guess as long as he's not into it. Does that make sense? Not. I'm so dumb right now. It's weird. It's weird to me when he's like, I've noticed that he has feelings. And then he's like, we just need to be physical. There doesn't need to be affection. And then he like tries to stop him. And then he doesn't really stop. And they only stop because Ist, my new favorite character, comes in. And I just don't know. It like, if the main character was a girl, I'd be like, this is but if Aresh was a girl, I might call it out, but I'd kind of be into it. I just gotta be honest. So with a same-sex couple, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's too. To think that, I don't know. Ooh, but the rest of the story, I'm like genuinely like I dig their accounting usage, and I dig him helping out the maiden, even though he doesn't really super care, but he'll help her out. Alright, well, I was wrong about the team-up episode, but there was kind of a team-up. Yeah, I mean, there was a team-up. I was just wrong about who. But I wasn't expecting Digimon with PTSD from shooting people in war. That was not on my bingo card. But yeah, kind of touching. It totally got me, because I thought he yeeted his Digimon to save his life. But no, it was just a well-played trick. Although he's still getting a rough deal, it seems. Not bad for Digimon. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about going into the past to see what was up with Eraser and his friend group. Just because it kind of feels more like My Hero Academia, like the original TV show. It feels like a flashback from that. But I'm enjoying it. I guess. The cat, I feel like they animated the cat so adorably. And yeah, Midnight's got quite the costume. I guess at least, I don't know, I don't want to go into age again. But I think third year is their final year in high school, so 18. I'm just gonna might cut all this out. But honestly, I think the thing I got from this episode most is that it looks like Eraser's about to get trained by Prince, and I'm looking forward to that next week. Well, I did like this episode. I thought it was cute. As much as the elf annoyed me, I did end up coming around, I think, on them a bit at the end. I feel like it was probably a family emergency with his wife. But I do want to complain because I there's really not that many adult romances that have shown up. Like, I mean, I've only been really starting to watch those the last 3 seasons. But even when they do show up, I swear they're just... It's such a similar scenario to the high school romances where it's like they have no previous romantical... What's the word? They just have no romance experience. Romantic experience. God, why was it so hard? And in this one, yeah, she's got none. I mean, he might have some. He's not. I just like give me some people who've been around and like they're like jaded, or not jaded, but like, you know, they've got their own baggage and whatever after some relationships that haven't worked out. It's whatever. It's still cute and fun. What? I don't know if I would go to a meeting of romance bot owners. That you know, our main character's hot, but doesn't really seem like they kind of, yeah. And that makes sense because I was early at the very beginning when it was like, oh, I've got all these functions, and I was thinking, yeah, I might fall for this. And I'm talking way too long because I don't think I can really show any. There's like, okay. So in the first episode, I thought her friend Kate had been like taken when she lost her in the crowd, and I was just like, well, I guess we're not dealing with that. But that wasn't the case. I slowly realized this one girl is Kate. I'm finally remembering to talk about it. But yeah, I feel bad for Kate. But it's also, yeah, I don't know. The show's just letting you wonder what happened to her. I mean, like, I guess she's all right. We think she's shot, and then the next thing we know, we're just hanging out, and then eventually she goes and sees her in the hospital. Yeah, I'm probably just. I actually like this episode. It's a good episode. Again, it's hitting a little close to home with some of the corruption, and I don't know if close to home is the right phrase. Maybe it's just close to reality. It's yeah. Sadly, this is not. All of these like darker shows just like all of a sudden do not feel anywhere near as dark. Which, you know, I don't know. I gotta. I don't know what I gotta do. But something. I'm trying. The animation's probably the biggest detractor just from some of the scenes in this, but it's also a little endearing at times. Yeah, the fights, I'm whatever about. I mean, it was interesting, I guess, to throw your wife into the mouth of that giant monster and have her beat it up from the inside, and then cute reunion after. And I think the interactions between all the characters are why I enjoy the show. It's more funny and heartwarming. I enjoy the vibes of this show. This episode. I enjoyed this episode a lot. I'm just, I guess, yeah, I enjoyed it, saved the gargoyle, and, yeah, maybe I'm just tired. Well, I certainly can't classify the aliens as pests anymore. They are doing some damage. Yeah, the idea, the power that they get is called idea, and it's a weird power where you can get, a good amount of it, by fighting, but also singing and performing a concert. I still don't really know exactly what everybody is seeing while they're doing that. Or you can just what seems to be sacrifice a boatload of people, and that will also give you a bunch of idea. So, interesting power system, and yeah, they're just laying damage. This seemed like, I thought the memories and stuff get erased. I didn't know that a big concrete pillar falls from the sky. But yeah, they got Nagi, took out one of their own for wanting peace. Not looking good for the C-Viz crew. This show is definitely slice of life fantasy, like a good amount of the time. Which, in like, definitely at the start of each season. So I can understand, like, you know, that not being for some people. But when the action comes in, it goes pretty hard. It's nice to have a show where it does just kind of sit with the characters more. Felt bad for Fern during the date. She was like, we just keep talking about Freerin. And he's like, yeah. Anyway, so Freerin. In the end, I guess it was the thought that counts and the effort. Solid. It seems like it's gonna be getting a little more dangerous going forward. Yeah, we're still like in a bit of the realm of montage fights and montage monsters, but yeah, I imagine some big baddies are coming up. Well, no heater this time. I'm just out of propane. But in terms of this episode, I am enjoying it. It's a good creature show. Good creature combat. Lots of different types. Yeah, and our homeboy dragon got a homegirl lizard. They seem to just be chilling. Although they faced the two-headed dog, and she kind of got. He just got the human transformation skill. But like I said, I feel like this is gonna be kind of continuing to be a good creature show. So I kind of don't trust the human I feel like it's just gonna be like, I kind of look like a human. I'm a little more human shaped. That's my guess. Especially since the title next week. I thought him and his lizard friend were just homies, but the title would seem to suggest she's his future wife, so that'll be interesting, I guess. Well, they were holding down the fort for a solid second, and yeah, it looks rough. It's amazing how in the span of a week, a lot of these metaphorical situations of an evil group secretly infiltrating the government and the church and being bad. Yeah, in the span of a week, that all of that stuff is hitting a little differently now. Still, I will recognize this is a good episode and get a little more backstory. Yeah, I guess the goddess could deserve one head pat, but it's whatever. Okay, we're working with Liz A now. Yeah, I guess I'm with him in terms of the crow. I mean, I get it, kind of, but he's just an asshole. It's nice to see, I guess, the Champignon witch helping care for somebody else and getting some more interaction. Yeah, curious about where this will go. The running away is a backstory, isn't it? Because we've just been hanging out with him before that. Oh, but maybe not. All right, I think this show might be getting my attention again. This was an interesting episode that starts off a little creepy, not creepy, but more like unnerving, ominous. I don't know. Yeah, cool entity. One of the gods of creation. We're just moving buildings. I like when they can get interesting with their story. Sometimes it's just a rip-off Freddy Krueger, which was last episode. This one was, yeah. I mean, maybe it's ripping off something that I don't know, but I enjoyed it. Well, the animation stays hype, and we get a team up. I think we got 4. Yeah. We got 4 together, most likely. And I was just kind of realizing, like, it is hype and it's fun, but we've had how many fights? And, like, technically nothing has happened. Everyone's still kicking. We had an alliance fight, which I guess was we build an alliance. But yeah, green hair girl. I mean, I wonder how. I am curious how strong everybody is because they be going hard when they want to. Yeah, I guess I feel like the main girl or blonde girl. I don't know if she's a main girl, but she's like the most normal person, I guess. She's kind of been a little annoying, but I feel like she's about to turn Aleve into accepting all of this a little bit. I mean, she is, and she said she would try to stop things. I'm down with her trying to stop things, potentially. I don't know, I guess. But I don't know. We'll see. I feel like I should have guessed that the crab was an apparition. And then I swear, while like watching this episode, and as he's realizing he's just seeing things that aren't there, I was like, it'd be funny if his teacher was like glowing. And then I'll be damned, he's shining bright. Yeah, I don't know. Same wavelength for this show. Yeah, I thought it was interesting that their vision's just so different. They see normal colors for people in the house, I guess, but then the scenery is all inverted. I'm enjoying this. The teacher laughing at the quill ended up making me laugh. Yeah, going off to some magic school, I guess, for a couple of years, and I'm gonna meet some new peeps. I should have known they'd end up recruiting saxophone guy. I guess I kind of thought he would. I mean, I figured he would eventually turn on Knives since he clearly was there under duress. But yeah, Vash already got him with the kindness. Really, it's just not killing him. And yeah, Knives was brutal in that opening little introduction. And yeah, they're going on the attack now. It seems like everybody's got like weapons. Like, it doesn't seem like people have magical powers like the telekinesis. So I feel like that's some kind of weapon that he must have that they can disable, just like Vash disabled the saxophone. But yeah, that's my feelings. Damn, they really got by yellow-haired guy. They were so close. Gonna get the elixir, gonna get out, take a boat. But no, not this time. Yeah, I don't know how they're gonna beat any of these bros, and even Gabby is like, yeah, game over. I believe what will happen, we'll get a little fight. Most of them going to be captured, but then other dudes who are like here to, I mean, they're here for the elixir too, but I think they're also here to like terminate the original people who were here for the elixir, who were criminals. So yeah, I like our group. I like the mix of folks in our group. They're all split up now, of course, but they were cute together. I like the glasses teaching moment where they just keep sharing. Yeah. This show just continues to be good. I like it introduces characters, and I'm like, you're gonna be annoying, and like they are, but they're at least like introspective and grow. Yeah, Yamada and I forget her name, Nishan. I don't know. Yeah, that was cute. And the little explanations were fun. Oh, sorry, I'm a little cold. And then our main couple going to visit his house and getting caught by Grandma. That was fun. Grandma seems chill. Yeah, just fun characters and happy times. All right. Getting nice Charon versus Ogun fight. And for a dude preaching teamwork, he was getting his butt whooped while they were watching for at least a minute. I guess you have to work around his ability kind of smartly, or otherwise you're just powering him up. Yeah, that chunk, it was a chunk. They took a chunk out, and we'll see if that was enough. Stop this fiend. He is, man. I don't know how you compete with Chiron, I'm definitely pronouncing it wrong. But yeah, Shinra and all the pillars and the sister, they're all gone. We don't know where they went. Oh, and Sho, I think. That didn't happen in the last episode, right? That was like right at the beginning of this one. I don't know. I'm still losing my mind a little bit. I have not finished, and I'm definitely not going to finish even by Saturday for week 5. So thank you to that one person that was watching some of them all the way through. I hope you have an amazing life. I like this episode more than the last. We get some fighting going on. It's goofy fighting. When he was calling out the punches that got me. But it sounds like it's bad news for Yoriko. Tackle. And I'm gonna be so mad if she's taken out of commission. Like if her leg is just too that's gonna be the only thing that's gonna be a bummer if that goes that way. But otherwise, I'm having fun. Shocker homie lost his homies, but I guess they'll be shocker, but for the bad. So that's bad, but I'm sure it'll be fine in the end. I will give this show credit for having elaborate powers and just making them interesting. But also, they're sometimes very elaborate. Takes a little while to fully get exactly what's going on. I think I've got the star thing figured out, but yeah, there were moments where craziness was happening and I'm like, what? But I was right, kind of. We get the guy convinced due to Itadori's passion as a cog. Passion. We didn't really necessarily see that he's stronger than everybody. The girls seem decently strong, but yeah, it also seems like I'm sure it'll be used in an interesting way, but I'm definitely not going to be able to anticipate it, I feel. Maybe. And then we get an introduction to some old guy. I mean, he doesn't look old, but I guess he was around 400 years ago, looking for Sukuna. And already got 200 points, so does that mean he's killed 40 people? Or, yeah, I can't. We'll see. There's a lot of really strong episodes this week, in terms of in their respective series. I wish I could rate this one higher. There's just there's some really peak stuff going on, but I will say I want to say 90% of the show I just probably have the dumbest smile on my face because it's just that much of a good time. the spoiler torture that would have got me. We're getting a little hints that princess, or I mean not hints, but we're heading towards the princess and pink-haired girl reuniting, and I'll be curious how that goes down. And but she likes her pancakes, so yeah, good times. Take the warning beforehand seriously on this episode. This is a rough one. Yeah, just another reminder of one of the other many things that are awful with America. I haven't honestly even heard of any mass shootings recently, but honestly have been so engrossed in the Epstein files and just anime in general that I very easily could have missed many, and it wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, this is a messy story. I don't know what it's trying to say other than everybody kind of sucks. I mean, the fact that Charlie just trying to help everybody out, whether good or bad, sees everybody as one thing, but will, protect themselves when they need to, feels like a nice way of being. But it also kind of definitely feels like this show is maybe questioning if even that is good enough. I don't know. It's so weird that it's hardcore vegans. I mean, it kind of makes sense because it's with all the freaking big issues that people are worried about. I believe abortion is for the best. Having the option, and I'm literally only alive because of an abortion, and weirdly enough, that one also was there's much regret on that one, as there is acceptance and appreciating what it led to. But I get people's outrage when they think, oh, that's a person that you're killing. It's a baby. It's a if that's what you believe, I get the outrage, and I get the outrage of killing animals. I eat meat. I probably wish I didn't. I definitely wish I didn't. But I also just... It's not one of the things that I most want to focus my energy on right now. Yeah, it's a messy world and a messy show. Maybe that's the point. We got another episode this week, not for this season, but for all of winter anime. That was... Alright. Just get it all out. I don't know if I'm going to use it. Blah, blah, something. What's even the show that I'm talking about? It's the Book of Varney. We're back in the present after having solved everything, and I guess the dead vampire is now a plushie. We don't really know how Frankenstein came to be. I imagine it'll keep going back in time. And maybe they'll do, like, a couple more, or, like, one more, like, one episode mystery. And I enjoyed this one. The mermaid, that was the point I was trying to make. Plays with how different beings view the world differently. And I kind of figured that there had to be some things that weren't being conveyed through her story properly. But I never would have figured that was 50 years and they grew old, or the human grew old during that time, and that they lived in the woman's eyes, lived a full happy life, and then tried to get the immunity at the last second. But I did notice that when she sucked the blood, I was like, does that not count? How much blood do you need? I was kind of right. I just forgot about it, and then she pops out like a zombie, but looking good for immortal grandma. I don't think we'll probably go back to that, but it's nice, little ambiguous. Will they continue? Maybe. So I may be outside freezing in a barn, but I'm pretty sure I got genuine chills when Kaya-chan smiled right after her grandmother begged her not to end her daughter's life, I guess, her mom, and take her life instead. Yeah, this show it's got more to it. Yeah, it's got more creep factor than I would have thought. Even the train was kind of like the implication that quick cut. I mean, it's not very graphic or anything, which I think is kind of nice. But it's unsettling. Yeah, curious what the heck is going on. The that took a turn, a very unexpected turn. I thought Tamon's B side was, him being hot and then gloomy, but no, his B side is being creepy as hell. And I don't know what I get like, the show is definitely making him creepy and recognizing that to an extent. She is mentally recognizing it, but I guess she's just struggling with the fact that it is her idol and he is hot. So, a very uncomfortable episode, but I guess it's supposed to be that. And we get a little sneak preview of the new center and their alternate personality. I knew they were going to be the opposite of whatever their things were, but I didn't know what all their things, like, what their traits are. As, like I knew he was a leader, but I didn't know what opposite of leader is, but he called him an airhead, and I bet he's really smart. So, yeah, interesting. And other bro is committed to getting her as well. Like, this is gonna be a scary group for her, I feel. Oh man, I hope I don't know exactly where this is going now. I literally was just being like, I would recommend this as like a good starter romance or whatever, because it's like, it's got romance, but it's like it's funny and blah blah blah. But I gotta take that back now. I think. I mean, I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it is a romance. Anyways, all right, I'm done. Well, damn. It's looking rough in game 30. Felt bad for Blondie and other random girl. It's gonna be a rough one for our homegirl, and I guess she had a new drug which she did not like, and I'm really trying not to talk about Epstein again, because I know I just loaded up last week with it. I still haven't finished editing it or posting it, so it still kind of feels like that week. And yeah, the line that got me the most, I think, this episode was, "I thought this was fine." Oh man, it's setting up all of the little things so that, like, it last week it had Pink Girl going or something to go make a confession, and then we didn't hear it, and then we got, you know, the confession to Arsu, but like right before that there was a confession about like punching a hole in the wall, I believe, and I feel like that was Pink Girl. And then in this one, she says she's sorry for hugging him and she's sorry for lying. And then we didn't hear what she said about lying, and I feel like the lie was that that wasn't her confession. But it also feels like now it's just being so kind of obvious with like some of the shots and the storytelling that I feel like it's making me want to think it's her. And it's actually going to be Guitar Girl. Because now she's doing subtle stuff that I don't really know what's going on with, like, I changed and he didn't notice. But fun episode. I enjoyed the Jenga game. I was a little annoyed. I was like, what the frick did they talk about last episode? And then we finally got to it. And it would have annoyed me, but he's just such a, I don't know, he's such a benefactor, I guess. He's like, look, I'm not, she's like, I'll show who I am. And he's like, nah. I gotta find you for myself, and I gotta make all four of you pros, and by the time that I do that, I'll know which one of you is you. And yeah, I dig. It's just it's nice mystery that's a little more emotional. This one's got me laughing like an idiot. I'm trying to cut out all my laughs. I'm working on not having to cut them out because I'm not laughing every 5 words. So, really good episode, but again, there's just a lot of really good stuff going on this week. So I want to rank this high. I don't know quite if it's going to be as high as I wish it. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. We'll see. You know what the rank is. So we basically got super fast Groundhog Day in space. I keep saying in space. It's I mean, yes, but whatever. So I guess the knowledge they needed to get was knowledge about the real Yuri. And now they've moved on to a different Genosha-free world, it seems. But in Luan? And they were evacuating? Is that where they were originally coming from? Or I thought that might be where they were heading to at one point? Or that they were avoiding it because they didn't have Genosha? I can't remember now. There's a lot to keep up with. But it is really cool how far we've come with all the characters. And I like all of them now for the most... I like all of them. The little moments that Yuri had with SQ and Rakio were nice. Well, what the heck is going on? I mean, I know what's going on, but what the heck? Alright, maybe I'm... No, I think, the father is revealed, sort of. Was a 15-year-old in middle school. I was 16. I don't know how. I mean, actually, I do know. I've met. I know. Never mind. Ruby was killing it. And then I felt bad for Aqua learning that his father is actually alive. I still also feel bad for Arimi, red-haired girl. And then the other girl's figuring out everything on her own. Yeah, I'm very curious where this is going. Cause wait, so he orchestrated the murder at age, I guess it would have been like 18, 17? Like, that's confusing. And then he was also the father of this other dude. Very young. Because it would have had to be around the same time, because Aqua's about the same age as this other dude. What was going on? Because the other one was a full-grown woman, right? I don't know. What? Oh, that was terrible. I can't whistle right now. Alright. I was trying to just be like, yeah, I don't even know what that was. This episode, though. Alright, I'm done. This was dedicated to the aunt, this episode. And I loved all of it. Her interaction with the niece's friend. And was that a fried green tomatoes reference? In my anime? I don't know, that caught me off guard. I was like, whoa. And yeah, oh my god, it was so funny. Her going out with the guy and just like, oh my god. I'm so hot for him right now. And like, I get it. They're cute together. And yeah, I'm glad. I was tearing up a little bit like while she was talking after the first kiss rejection, because like Nora, I was like, oh man, they're still doing that even in this one, and like, but then she immediately started explaining why, and like it like it's like she really wants it, and yeah, I don't know, there was a lot of this that I felt I could relate to at different times. Definitely not all of it, but yeah. And I'm glad that they could find a friend to lean on, that they'll sometimes be attracted to one another. The very last scene. I still can't whistle. Well, you can roll credits. You said it. Golden Kamuy. He said it cooler than I did. So last week I was like, this all kind of feels mostly like rehash information. It's like everybody else is kind of getting it, but boy was it building up to this episode. We get all the information basically. Get why Kira Ranke. We get why he killed Wilk. We get how Wilk became faceless. Skinned himself to like fake his own death, and then the one person that he does that for just immediately like, nah, he's alive, bro. I like, that's brutal. And did Wilk, was it an accident that Wilk killed his wife and daughter, or was that because it kind of looked purposeful in the flashback? I mean, I get that they were in the woods and stuff, but I'm just gonna assume it was accident. But still, it's all messed up. But in the end, is Captain Tsurumiki the most in the right? I'm like trying to remember all the stuff they've done, and I feel like no real heinous crimes are like popping to my mind. Like, he's been shifty, but he's doing it all for, the love of Japan. And I mean, he's got, his own little personal wants, but he's loyal to his larger cause. And yeah, his commentary on how the gold is a curse to the Ainu was interesting. And it's like it all kind of makes sense how they just like screw themselves and end up infighting, and them being the reason they're all dead. And the gold, the comparison of it being different purities and locations of gold that are all mixed together, and it doesn't really work. Like, I don't know if I love that message, but they at least portrayed it interestingly. And like, sadly, it is a real concern of trying to stand up to bigger guys getting involved in battles and war, and gotta be, I don't know what the what the optimal choice is, because it doesn't feel like the Ainu are around now. Maybe they are. I don't really know much about them other than what I know in the show. I'm assuming they're real people that existed. I don't know. This was an episode. We made it to the end. All the ranks and stuff are on the screen, you know, with the names kind of there. Let's see, some timestamps. Woo! All right, that only takes forever to create. And now let's look at the points because they're getting interesting. We've only got really like 3 shows reasonably, I could say, that might stay under the There's No Freaking Way I'll Be Your Lover show. Yeah, there's a couple of shows that are just like outliers due to the amount of episodes they have. And they were going to be outliers one way or the other. I think I'm fine with this point system. Even, like, the more points that are accumulating, the more I'm like, yeah, this kind of looks like how I feel about the season. I don't know what you don't know Gunma. What's up with that show? I just one episode and never heard from again. I don't know. Thank you for being here. See you next time.